From Clarkwoods.com, this is Horribly Off Topic, episode number 190. I'm Chris.
And I'm Steve.
Oh, we're using our made-up names?
No.
Then
I'm Dr. Ted Babyfucker.
Oh, then I'm Incompetent Man.
Okay.
That's it. We start over.
No.
No. All right. Well, so I don't want to get right into geeking out about the Infinity War trailer because then I'll just talk about it for the entire show.
Okay, so we'll save that for the end.
We'll save that for the end. Save that for the.
If you start going on the Infinity War trailer, I'm gonna just start playing some Sega Genesis.
Do you think people would keep listening to that? They're just me talking about that and
me
you just going like
and me playing
what would that
Shining
sound
Force. Like? I could get the controller.
It'd be like this.
Hold on.
Yeah, something like that.
We'll foley this.
Well, we're going to foley it up? Okay. Foleying it up. Axel foleying it up or just foleying it up?
Just foleying it up.
Just foleying it up. All right. So you got a Genesis controller.
It's the 3-button one, like the original.
Oh, fuck yeah. Like the classic.
The D-pad on the Genesis controller is pretty all right.
Yeah, I remember that was of all the things I was jealous of for the Genesis as opposed to my NES. I thought the controller was. It had just one. It just had one more button, right? Like it had one more button, so it wasn't that confusing.
But then there was a 6-button one that came along later.
Oh, okay, well, fuck the 6-button one. I don't need that many buttons.
It looked like these fake controllers that my Retron 3 came with.
It's when you get to too many buttons, I don't know what to do with it.
Well, the thing is, like, let me sit back down.
I mean, even like the Super NES had 4, right? And then it had the triggers on top. Maybe?
Yes.
Okay. But I never used the triggers because I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. So, but the 4 buttons, I was like, oh, 4 buttons. I can get behind 4 buttons. I understand 4 buttons. But when it starts to be like 6 buttons, 8 buttons, whatever, I'm like, you know what? I might as well just play a fucking computer game.
So the trick with the 6-button controller as opposed to the 4 buttons like the Super Nintendo had is that it was good for fighting games. Because if you played Street Fighter or any of the fighting games from the arcade, except for Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat.
I was just about to say, Steve. I'm like, Mortal Kombat ain't need no 6 buttons.
Or maybe it did have 6 buttons. I don't even know. It's been a long time since I played Mortal Kombat in the arcade. But in Street Fighter, you would have light, and I'm pointing to the buttons here: light, medium, hard punch, light, medium, hard kick.
Okay.
For your Street Fighter moves.
Okay. Yep.
And for the Super Nintendo version, either the light or the hard punches and kicks were on the triggers, and then the mediums and lights or mediums and hards were on the buttons that are on the front of the controller. Okay. And so if you wanted to you'd have to use the triggers, but for this one you could do better combos with the 6 buttons. So like for Genesis and for the Saturn, they both had 6 buttons. But then the Dreamcast, which was a fucking bonkers controller.
I remember that. My friend John, not my brother John.
Your brother John did have one.
Oh, okay, but my friend John had one. That's where I saw it over his house.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it had like a little a memory card thing in the middle, and it was fucking crazy.
It was bonkers. Well, let me ask you this, Steve. When are they going to bring all 6 buttons to my fleshlight? I mean, you talk about light, medium, hard.
Do you have one?
No, I don't. That is not this week's admission.
You're gonna. We know, Clark. We know about your fleshlight.
I don't know that I could. I think in my younger days, had fleshlight existed in my younger days, I might have. I mean, I was that sex crazed at a certain point. I might have gotten a fleshlight. But I don't know if I could today, because no matter where I'd hide it, I don't know where I'd hide it. And I know the whole point is that it looks like a flashlight, but it doesn't really look like a flashlight. It really look like a flashlight.
It looks like a flashlight. Like if you had gotten it like when they first came out, people would be like, what is that, a flashlight? But then now that they're like on Joe Rogan and like what is it, Kevin Smith?
Yeah.
Not rest in peace. He's still alive.
No, he's still alive.
Their podcasts, like and other
they
media,
popularized the thing. So I went on their website though the other day because I was like, I was like, what?
I remember, like, let me just interrupt you for a second. I remember, I think it might have been for my 19th birthday or something like that. Somebody got me a portable blowjob, which was just basically like a pocket pussy thing, only it was called the Emerald Lips because it was green. And it was St. Patty's Day yesterday.
Okay.
So a gift from...
did you dig it out?
A gift from St. I don't have it, and I threw it out almost immediately. I was very offended by pocket pussy back
by them co-opting St. Patty's Day.
Oh, top of the morning to you. Have a blowy.
They have a lot of fucking different options on the Fleshlight. And then you reminded me why it was that I thought of it, because I was listening to... Chris Hardwick's, I think it's a 2016 comedy special that's on Apple Music. At any rate,
he's
really
a comedian? I thought he just did after shows.
He's a comedian. He's a funny dude.
All right. I don't necessarily dislike him, but I don't like him either.
Well, part of that particular routine was about how fans of The Walking Dead hate him. And
really?
He totally understands why they would, because he's the face that you see right after as he explains it. He's the face that you see right after one of your favorite people dies,
or right when a cliffhanger happens.
And he also talks in that special about how he didn't have any control over it, but he recognizes how annoying it was, especially in the early seasons, that like they'd cut to a commercial and there'd be his dumb face advertising Talking Dead after the show. He's got a very good sense of humor about it, but. At any rate, he was talking about having had a blow-up doll as a kid in that routine. And so I was sitting there, and so one thing led to another, and I was like, all right, private browsing mode, what the hell can you get for a fleshlight these days? And you can get things that don't even attempt to look like a flashlight. I mean, they make no attempt whatsoever. You can also get all sorts of different textures and whatever's on the inside. It looks very alien-like.
I mean, how often do you look inside of a vagina?
I'm just saying that some of the
or butthole.
I'm saying that some or mouth hole, you can get those too from Fleshlight now. Butthole.
Well, I mean, Dennis probably like a
yeah. But no, what I'm saying,
the mouth does not have that texture inside.
The cross section that they show. I mean, I think it's there to sort of let you know that wow, you're in for a good ride, but. It's just weird. Like I don't, and I guarantee you that one of those probably looks like what the inside of a vagina looks like, but the rest of them just look like I don't know. The fucking guy who designed Transformers was like, I'm out of work. I'm gonna go design pocket pussies or flashlight pussies.
Do you remember like there was like I think it was a toy or something like it was like a water worm thingy, and it like would constantly just keep on going in on itself, like going blue, and there was like fluid inside of it.
Is that like a lava lamp?
No.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
I
remember Will having one.
Oh.
And I was never sure about it, but I think that he at one point or another fucked it.
But we were all, we were.
But I would play with it because it was fun to play with in your hands.
Well, we were teenage human beings.
So I may have been playing with something that he fucked.
We were teenage human beings with penises. And I just have to say that at some point, I think if you have a penis, you're like, I could stick this somewhere. It's, at first you're like, I got fingers. I can stick them in my ear, my nose, my butt, all these things. And then when you hit puberty and you happen to have a penis, all of a sudden you've got an extra thing that you can put someplace. And so I think it's totally understandable.
You see?
That, okay, so yeah. He had one of those things, and you think he might have put his he might have put his thing in it.
Yeah, like I think it's very likely.
Very likely. Now,
I mean,
did he ever like kind of look guilty when you were
I was playing with it,
or look jealous when you were playing with it?
Well, I wasn't like fingering it or anything.
God.
We got dirty right out of the gate.
We did.
We've polluted the room, as they used to say when I did stand up. If you did,
you polluted the room.
If you got dirty too, like if you were the opening act and you were really dirty, really early.
Oh, okay, right.
And so basically, you made the room kind of like have to, like every act after that
has to get worse.
Not necessarily worse, but has to be equally as dirty.
Yeah.
Which is why it's not good for the opening act to do that.
Right. Okay. Well, point taken. I will attempt to save my dirty mind for later in the show in future installments.
So when people are like, "Are they going to talk about pocket pussies the whole time?"
Yeah,
they'll be like, "Well, we could just talk about puppies next."
We could talk about puppies. We saw
Claire in an ad with a really cute puppy.
Really?
And we were it was one of the few times on Hulu we were hoping for an ad.
Oh, because you'd seen it once. You're like, oh, I want to see that one with the puppy again.
We saw it twice, and then like Becky was like, she was getting mad when it wasn't showing up when we were watching that AP Bio show that you don't.
Oh yeah, okay. So what kind of dog puppy was it?
It was a little beagle puppy.
Oh.
And it was perfect for that guy with allergies.
Oh,
snugging on the grass. It made Becky go like really high pitched, like. It's
a beagle. It's Snoopy.
Actually, Snoopy does not look like a fucking beagle.
He looks like a beagle.
No.
What does he look like then?
He just looks like a dog. Like he does not like. Unless, like, if I hadn't been told that Snoopy was a beagle, I would never have been like, oh my god, that's the dog he is.
Okay, all right. And you think he's probably done a disservice to beagles as a whole? Is that people like, I want a beagle because I read Peanuts growing up, and then they get a beagle, and the beagle ain't nothing like Snoopy. And,
yeah, he's not like sleeping on the roof of his.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to type. I mean, you know, what the fuck? Good is he?
I remember there was a Peanut special we had on VHS that I would watch. That wasn't a Christmas special or holiday special.
Was it the one with the raft race?
No, it was one where I think the raft race was actually a movie and it was in theaters.
Oh, okay. That was one that I saw like once, and then I was obsessed about it, and I couldn't even find, even in the early days of the internet. I was like, what was that one called? And I couldn't find it. And I think
You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown? Or was that the baseball one?
It might be. I don't know. Anyway, so you had one.
There was Snoopy Come Home, which I think was a TV special. That was a different one.
Yeah.
But we had another one where like I think Snoopy was like, or maybe it was Charlie Brown was doing magic, and then he became invisible, and he started doing not inappropriate things. Well, like I suppose inappropriate things for children, but like not inappropriate things for like an adult would consider inappropriate.
Yeah. Well, inappropriate things for a dog.
Well, I don't think he was doing inappropriate things with the dog.
I hope not. So puppies, dogs. I have a student in my my Friday afternoon class who is blind.
Okay.
And they have
good thing they're not going to be able to see the tweets about this. So.
They have a dog. They have an assistance dog. We don't call them seeing eye dogs anymore, right? That's probably a bad. That's like a no-no.
I don't know.
They have a dog.
They have a dog that assists them with things in life.
Yes, but every time that dog comes to class, my eyes start getting itchy and scratchy.
They fight.
Yeah,
they fight and fight and fight. I just have like this image of your eyeballs slapping each other with like a club and an axe.
That does happen sometimes. It might happen this week. It's Tech Week for the show that I'm in, and I think by maybe like Wednesday night, assuming there is a rehearsal on Wednesday night, if there's no fucking snow, by Wednesday night my eyeballs might be punching each other.
Is there going to be a dog there too?
There's not going to be a dog there too. No. I just mean that I'm going to be very tired, and so my
So
eyeballs.
when your brother's dog was in the house, did you have like bad allergies?
I didn't have allergies to dogs or cats as a kid. So my brother and I both had cats as a kid, as young kids, and then he had a dog.
Which as Yucko used to say, would constantly be taking a sip of the magical margarita.
The dog would?
Yeah, he was always licking his genitals.
Oh. But that goes back to the whole, like, once you realize that you've got
and he would
penis,
do this impression of the dog licking his balls.
Yucko.
Which were in fact balls. Your brother's dog never was neutered. So.
Much to the chagrin of many neighbors who had female dogs in the neighborhood
that were not
that were also not
So he would be like. Yucko would be looking at the dog, or like he would just be talking about the dog, and then the dog he'd be like, "Oh, I gotta take a sip."
He was a horny dog. The dog went out and had.
I don't think he was licking his balls because he was horny. I think he was just licking his balls because it felt good to lick his balls.
Oh, okay. So you can make that distinction. You're saying that a distinction between it feels good to lick your balls and horniness. I mean, there's a point at which you can lick your balls and it feels good, but you don't get horny as a result.
Like there's a lot of things in this world that feel good that don't give me an erection.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? You think like every time like I felt pleasure that I was constantly popping boners?
Yeah, I mean I get boners a lot, Steve. I don't know if I've told you this, but like I
that's good. I mean you're in your 40s now and you're still getting boners unassisted.
Yeah, I mean like a Reese's peanut butter cup that tastes good. I like those, and all of a sudden, boing, 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 boing. Yeah, it's just it comes out of nowhere. I can't blame a dog.
It's a pleasure for me.
I can't blame a dog for licking its balls. I mean, I really can't, because if you could.
What if they don't have balls? Do you blame them for licking their lack of balls?
What do they have? They have like a sack that with no balls in it, or does the whole sack and balls get cut off?
They talked about this on O&A a long time ago, where somebody was selling a thing called Nudicles. Or it might have been on Run and Fest.
Okay.
So you get your dog fixed, and then you put in like these fake balls, so it appears that your dog still has balls, although they don't have balls.
Does the dog enjoy licking the nudicles?
I don't know.
I wonder if that's like you doing a service for the dog. Like you're like, I'm sorry, puppy, we don't want you to get anybody pregnant, but I understand you like to lick your balls, so here's a present.
All right. So if you like if you have like a fake foot,
do you like to lick that foot? I don't know.
Yeah, would you like to get that foot licked, like as opposed to your real life foot?
If you had a foot fetish,
or no, I'm just saying.
I mean, maybe.
Like, would it feel good for someone to lick your foot that doesn't exist? Mm-hmm. I would say no, because you don't have feeling in that foot at all.
What if you had them lick your phantom limb? Is what I'm, like you maybe that kind of like turns somebody on.
Like mime licking a foot that isn't there?
So like you take your artificial foot off and you hold it out there, and the person that you love that loves you, or the person that you've paid to pretend to love you for the evening. Why
like the two things that you think of are like being in a committed, loving relationship and a prostitute. Well, it can't be just a random sexual escapade.
No, because I think this requires something special. I think you have to trust the person.
Why is like prostitution special, but random?
No. You trust the person that you love, or if you're with a prostitute, you trust that they are going to do the job you have contracted them to do, and so you can say to them, "Yes, it turns me on." When
we know Clark.
I like that is now a that is now a bit.
That is the thing when I think you've gone too far.
All right, so I did not even mean to go that far, but you started talking about my brother's dog licking its balls. I just wanted to have a nice conversation about puppies.
We were.
But you brought up the balls, and so
I didn't bring up prostitutes though.
Okay, so I'm realizing as an adult that I'm more allergic to dogs than I thought I was.
So we're back on this. That's good.
I have a reaction to my
start your we talk about something sexual counter going right now.
I have a reaction to my student's dog. I always forget to have allergy medicine with me, so I just kind of bear with it. And I love the dog. I think the dog is kind of standoffish, doesn't want to be touched or anything like that. But I think it's a cute dog.
The service dog.
Yeah, I mean, and you're not supposed to touch them or whatever anyway. But
when they're working, I mean, like once they don't have their vest on or whatever, then it's usually it's party time for petting puppies.
Right. Now, somebody brought their dog to the office the other day. So the little puppy was wandering around, and I wanted to pet the puppy, and so I did, and then I let the puppy lick my hand.
Oh.
They have to restart their counter because of your fucking
I didn't say like anything. That was just that is an implication. So therefore, it is not like the audience can make their own conclusion from my
So the puppy licks my hand, and I'm like, oh, this puppy is licking my hand. It's so
Bubsy.
cute. I want to pet the puppy, and then I go, oh shit, my hand might turn like it really got it, like really licked it. I don't know what was on my hand, but the
saliva.
Dog. No, but the dog was enjoying licking my hand. It was not going to stop.
It's salt. You have salt.
I have salt. I'm salty?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I don't pet the dog anymore. I go to the bathroom and I wash my hand because I'm afraid that either my hand's going to start going red or I'm going to touch my fucking eyeball like an idiot and I'm going to start having a reaction. But my kids want a dog. My wife would like the kids to have an animal at some point. I don't want a cat. I don't want a bunny. I want a fucking dog. Except that I'm probably allergic, and I don't know what
you can go and get shots. Like they have, like you go to the allergist and they give you shit tons of shots.
Yeah,
our friend Caitlin, I think has had allergies for a while, but she's doing better now. That I think she's gotten some of the shots and whatnot.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I know Stephanie went to an allergist. My wife went to an allergist within the last month or so.
I like how that's become a thing, like on many comedy shows and whatnot, to reference Borat.
Like, I mean, I know the reference, but I've never seen Borat. So.
It was. I'm going to make an admission here. I hope people don't judge me too much.
Okay.
But I did enjoy it when it first came out, and I actually had it on the DVD.
On the DVD.
It was one of the ones that I was like, when I did my getting rid of my DVDs and cashing them in for Blu-rays.
Yeah.
That was one of the ones that I was like, that one's just going.
Okay.
I'm not going to replace it with the Borat Blu-ray if it even exists.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it does.
Well, the Blu-ray wasn't a thing when that movie came out.
Well, but okay, so maybe it doesn't exist now, but by the anniversary of when it came out or something,
which is I think coming up. I think or it might have just passed.
Yeah. Whoever owns the rights to that is certainly going to try to capitalize. I'm sure.
Sacha Baron Cohen probably.
Well, okay. So yeah, why not? I mean, obviously, you should make your money, Sacha Cohen.
You don't know who that is?
No, I know who he is.
Oh,
Sacha Cohen. Sacha Cohen was not the name of a '90s aughts teenage superstar, but Steve, I have a very important question for you. Okay. So before the show, and I think this has to be the show art.
I only got a very quick picture of it.
Okay, right. But it's not that important that you. So the picture, the question's about something else. So the picture, and I don't know if I can name all of these people, I'm going to be really, really impressed. So we promised we'd save Infinity War for later, but my question is related. So there was this tweet I saw today. About
a lucky man who made the grade.
Oh boy. Something about Lancashire, right? So this person posted Avengers Infinity War 2018 and then posted this photograph that I had never seen before of sort of all of the late 90s, early aughts, teenage, early 20-something female superstars all in one movie. All right, so you've got, let me see if I can do it. You've got Amanda Bynes.
Okay.
This is from what is this? This is left to right.
Yes. The way you read.
You've got Amanda Bynes, I think. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. I might have the
Olsen.
You've got Holes on. You've got Mandy Moore. You've got.
She's in This Is Us.
Do I win a prize if I get all of these?
What do you want?
I don't know. You got Hillary Duff in the center.
Lock her up. Lock her. No, wait.
Not that Hillary. Then you got This is the one I think I don't know. I know her. She's from Gilmore Girls. She's the younger Gilmore girl.
She's the daughter.
She's the daughter. Do you know her name?
No.
What's her name? What the fuck's her name? See, I already lost my damn.
Well, you don't
Rory,
win anything.
right?
Well,
I fucking hell. Alexis Bledel. Is that her name?
Sure.
Alexis Bledel. Yes, Alexis Bledel, who played.
You would never have gotten that.
Yeah, no, not at all. And then next to her, I'm pretty sure, is Evan Rachel Wood. And then next to her is Raven Simone, I'm pretty sure. And then next to her is Lindsay Lohan.
Let me look at to make sure you're not being racist.
You be a judge, and here you can be on my mic if you.
Yeah, I mean that looks like the people that you're describing. Yes.
Now, I have never seen this picture before. I'm sure it's for like some powerful young women issue of like People or Vogue or something.
This picture. Oh, I thought you meant it was like a movie.
No, I don't think this ever.
We gotta get every young hot girl in this picture.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think they ever made this a movie. But what it made me think of, Steve, is I thought this was a funny joke, and then it made me think. And I wrote this question down because I knew I would not phrase it as well as I phrased it before the show. If you could put together a huge inter-movie crossover from some other period in time, who would be in it? What would cross over? I mean, like certainly like Steven Spielberg's doing a little bit of that with the Ready Player One, which has like the fucking dinosaur and it has the Back to the Future car and stuff like that.
Like everything from every Spielberg movie ever.
But not he doesn't have the actors and whatnot. So like if you go back to the 80s or the 90s, like who would be in your super movie? Like what would it not necessarily even superheroes. Like who would be in your cinematic universe? Who would just sort of
I don't know, like it'd be weird to think of like because the movies that I really watched a lot, and this comes up all the time, like the movies I really watched a lot when I was younger were Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Back to the Future, and Ghostbusters.
Okay, all right, so let me pitch you this. All right, let's see. Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Back to the Future, Ghostbusters. All right. So I mean, they could exist in the same universe, like you know, like Back to the Future is taking place in Southern California, right?
And which I assume Hill Valley's in Southern California.
Yeah, I don't think that's
because Hill Valley's not a real place.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a Northern California town.
Yeah,
that's SoCal. Yeah,
and Ghostbusters takes place in New York City.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then Pee-wee, where's Pee-wee's all over the place, right?
Pee-wee starts in nameless town and then ends up in where the Alamo is. Where's the Alamo?
That's in Tejas.
I know it's in Texas. What town in Texas?
I don't know. Is it in Houston? Is it in Alabama? No, that's not a town. Austin. Houston, Austin, Dallas.
I don't know.
One of those.
But yeah, like, so I doubt that, I mean, they all could exist in the same universe.
Well, so like what I was thinking, like you're making the Avengers of the 80s, like that's a title, right? That's
the Avengers of the 80s.
That's not a great one, but
I think the alliteration that I did earlier is a better title.
Oh, what was
it was about puppies.
The alliteration that I did earlier.
God damn it, Chris. Can we just call the episode God damn it, Chris?
Yes. Is that like God damn it all put together? Like, or are there spaces? God damn it.
God damn it is one word, and then
God damn it, Chris.
Chris is another word. A proper noun.
Okay. So all right, so you've got your you got Pee-wee, and he's got a bike, right?
Yeah. And then Francis takes it.
Well, okay, but we're saying like here's a thing that unites them. Pee-wee's got a bike. Marty and Doc have a DeLorean, and the Ghostbusters have whatever their Ghostbuster mobile is called. What's that called? That's like the something
Ecto-1.
The Ecto-1. Okay, so let's see. Doc and Marty are trying to. You
gotta come back with me, Marty. We gotta go to the basement of the Alamo.
No, okay, yes, basement of the Alamo. All right, and yes.
You want it to be a crossover between, like, you could have like the Doc and Marty accidentally take Pee-wee's bike.
Yes,
and
yes,
take
I
it
like
into
that.
the past.
Take it into the past to
play the shitty games that suck ass.
to try and stop the Alamo disaster from happening. They figure if they go and they show this wonderful
awesome
bicycle to who would they have to show it? Should they show it to Davy Crockett?
Santa Ana.
Show it to Santa Ana and be like, here's a gift. Please don't slaughter all these people.
Yeah.
Okay. But then like the Alamo as folklore won't exist. Right. And so Pee-Wee won't be, and then Pee-Wee won't be able to bring his bike there, and then we've got a paradox.
No, Pee-Wee didn't bring the bike there.
Oh, somebody else brought the bike?
The bike ended up in California.
Oh. Okay.
In Hollywood, like on the set of whatever movie that the kid that was Fred Savage's brother in Wonder Years.
Oh, that guy. Okay. Mm-hmm. David fought. No, I don't know his name. Okay, but how do we get the Ghostbusters involved? I think the Ghostbusters need to travel back in time to prevent somebody from becoming a ghost because they're such a pain in the ass. So maybe they have to like borrow the flux capacitor from the back of the DeLorean and put it on the Ecto-1.
If you're gonna make a time machine out of a car, you gotta do it with some style.
Right? I mean, come on.
So once this thing hits 88 miles an hour, you're gonna see some serious shit.
I like this movie. I think this movie would be awesome. I mean, so like, all right, now here's the next most important thing.
What is the next important thing?
The next most important thing is who gets what billing. So when Infinity War's poster came out this week, one of the things that I thought was very interesting about it was the billing. So Downey Jr. gets top billing, right?
Sure.
Which I'm telling you, Downey Jr. got top billing, and
who's the and though?
The and is Chris Pratt.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, the and is a combination. So it's got and Josh Brolin as Thanos and with Josh Brolin as Thanos and Chris Pratt.
Okay.
So Chris Pratt is the and, Josh Brolin is the with. So how do you do the billing on this fantastic movie you've just conceived of?
Well,
Steve?
I mean, back then and now, I think Bill Murray is the big get.
Yeah. All right. So trying to get Bill Murray to do it would all right.
So maybe he is the top billed person.
Okay. And so who's the and? Is it Michael J. Fox?
I think it would be Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
So it would be with Paul Rubens.
with Paul Rubens as Pee-Wee Herman and Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, who goes in between there is kind of, a toss-up or whatever.
Because, like, everybody else that's in all those movies are like, I mean, Dan Aykroyd to a lesser extent, but they're all better at being character actors than the three we've mentioned.
Yeah. Well, so
because like Christopher Lloyd has been like an absurd amount of like crazy characters. Like he's been Uncle Fester. He's been like in fucking Cuckoo's Nest. He's been all over the place.
Right. I wonder how much time was spent with all of these people's agents deciding the order. So like, can I read you the order that's on this poster?
Sure.
Okay.
I do love lists.
This is great. Right. Okay. So Downey Jr. is first. Right, and so if we're going left to right, it's 2 rows across the top of the poster.
Where's Evan Rachel Wood?
I think you're thinking of Anthony Hopkins.
Oh, Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Sir Anthony Hopkins. Yeah, I think you're thinking of him. He's the crossover there. He's in both her show and he's Odin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Downey, then Hemsworth. Okay.
Got it.
So Hemsworth is, in terms of movie stars, able to carry his own movies. I think is probably up there. Then Ruffalo, then Evans, so Captain America, right? Then Scarlett Johansson. Now, this is the part where I wonder, like, did they have any, based on the way the poster is, did Scarlett Johansson and then Benedict Cumberbatch, who's on the other side of Thanos' head, get those spots because they're also like Cumberbatch is a big star, Johansson is a big star. Okay, then so it's Johansson, Cumberbatch, Cheadle, then Tom Holland, then Chadwick Boseman, who's the Black Panther.
Oh, okay.
Then Paul Bettany, right? That's the whole first row. So Paul Bettany must have. I mean, Paul Bettany's a great actor, but he's a character actor. I think for him to get that high up and still be on the first row, I think is interesting.
I mean, he is like his character is very much CG.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's got an infinity stone in his forehead, so I imagine he is.
What, they didn't just drill that into his head?
Second line, Elizabeth Olsen, younger sister, I think.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, Scarlet Witch.
It's weird. It's weird hearing people like because before she was just a plain old actor before she became a superhero.
Yeah.
But since then, she has been on podcasts like Dan Harmon's podcast and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. She's
So she's still down to earth, even though she's in she's going to be in one of the biggest movies ever.
Yeah.
She was
and even though
previously one of the biggest movies ever.
And even though she has two sisters who are very famous.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and
Anthony. So, that was one of his great points last week, and I apologize for the audio quality. I did my best, but something was funky with last week's episode.
We are the worst at yes anding because we just say yes and then don't and anything.
So after Elizabeth Olsen, Elizabeth Olsen is first on the second row. Then you got Anthony Mackie, who's Falcon, Sebastian Stan, who plays Winter Soldier, Denai Guerrera, who's from Black Panther, and she is Okoye. Letitia Wright, who plays Shuri in Black Panther. Then finally you get over to some of the Guardians. So you got Dave Bautista, Zoe Saldana, right? With Josh Brolin as Thanos and Chris Pratt. So Zoe Saldana.
What about Bradley Cooper as Rocket J. Squirrel?
Oh, that one might be even better. I was intrigued by that. I think obviously he will be playing Rocket J. Squirrel, but he's not on there, and neither is nor is Vin Diesel as Groot.
As Groot, yeah.
I think it's very, very interesting to think who would. I like your movie. I don't even know that I need to go into to my fucking movie.
Well, I want to hear it. Is it a bunch of Kevin Smith movies from the 90s?
Well, Kevin Smith already did that. Kevin Smith had a shared universe. They all popped
but they were all his movies.
Yeah. So what would? Oh gosh, it's really. I think it would be neat if.
Come on, man! You had something.
I didn't.
You asked. You were waiting.
I was wait. I wanted to hear yours, and then I had so much fun with yours that I didn't think about what mine would be. So let's imagine let's do space. Let's do space related things. Okay.
So Star Wars, Star Trek.
Star Wars, Star Trek. The aughts reboot of Battlestar Galactica, and the cartoon Transformers. I want a movie with all of those things, right? And so maybe we start with long ago, right? We start with
and oh so far away,
and we just sort of see over time. It'd be not A Wrinkle in Time. What was that fucking Cloud Atlas? That movie. Ever see that movie?
The Atlas Shrugged.
I think you're thinking of The Fountainhead.
Yes.
And no, so
you libertarian piece of shit.
So buttons. The Cloud Atlas movie, there was a lot of crossover. Different people played different characters in different time frames, but most of the story, the only thing that carried over from story to story, generally speaking, were the actors, not the plot threads.
Oh, what you could do is just you could have the book that George McFly wrote. and then have that be a movie itself.
That's a crossover between your universe and my universe.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like once you have like the Steve cinematic universe and the Chris cinematic universe, then finally you have the hot cinematic universe, which combines the two of them.
Right. With George McFly's science fiction movie.
I like it.
Or book adapted into a film.
Right. A match made in space. Right?
Yes. I mean, Stephen King books / movies have like crossovers.
Yes.
Like, between things.
That is a fucking missed opportunity, and I hope that they do something about that.
The King cinematic universe.
They should. I mean, the problem is he probably sold the rights off to like 10, 15 different companies.
Well, I mean, this is just alleged, but I've heard that he really enjoyed cocaine back in the day.
Just a rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
There's a rumor out there that Stephen King might have liked some coke back then.
Yeah, you know. My dad has a story about Stephen King. Did
he run him over?
No, it's hard to tell whether or not, as with some of my dad's story, there's probably a shred of truth in it, but I don't know where that shred is. And his story is that he and a buddy, or maybe a couple of buddies, were up in Maine, driving through some part of it in the probably late 70s, early 80s, maybe even earlier than that. But King had started to make a name for himself, but wasn't that famous.
So they were like on a search for Stephen King?
No, they were not on a search for Stephen King. But they happened upon... Now, he describes it as like a gas station or something like that. I fail to see how that could be possible. That King was doing a book signing
at a gas station.
Like, that's what he makes it
somewhere
sound.
In northern Maine.
Somewhere in Maine.
I mean, they don't have bookstores up there.
And that...
Or libraries.
And they got to have it all in one. And that, I think if I recall the story correctly, King tells him something he's working on, and I think if you asked him to tell this story around the time of The Stand, it was that King was working on The Stand, and that King told him about the next thing he was working on, and then he and his buddy went to a drive-in movie theater that same night.
Back when they did porno. So
no.
Reset.
No. I didn't bring it up.
I did.
So he and his buddy
I'm saying it's the show at large.
Okay, all right. So he and his buddy go to drive-in up there in Maine somewhere that was apparently next to a cow farm. And they're...
Why? Okay, so...
No, I see, I'm trying to tell you, I don't know where the shred of truth in this story is.
No, but like...
I'm just telling you the whole story.
That just doesn't make any sense that they would go to fucking northern Maine to go to a fucking drive-in when there was one in goddamn Chelmsford.
I'm not saying they went specifically for the drive-in. Maybe they were on a vision quest. I don't know. But I'm saying...
They were high on peyote, and they're like, well, there is a drive-in next to some shit.
They were high on something, and...
I don't imagine it would be easy to get peyote in northeastern or the northeastern part of the country.
I probably not. So they were high on
in 1975 or whatever. Let's say.
They're high on something, and somebody, I guess, opened up the fence, and the cows started coming through
to watch the movie.
To watch the movie, but they're high, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like they thought something. Really
and then Stephen King came
happened.
along and he
knocked on the window and he was
he grabbed the cows with with the things that
cattle prod.
No, the guy that would take people off stage. The
hook. Yeah,
he grabbed all the cows with a hook and he did like a Bugs Bunny and then ran away.
Yeah.
That part's definitely true. What movie did they see?
I don't know. Maybe the shred of truth is that it was a Stephen King movie adaptation, and so somehow they
were like only showing it in northern Maine.
Yeah, I guess. I don't fucking know. It's one of those stories. I'm like, where did I don't I mean, I told it to you exactly the way he used to tell it to me. It didn't make any more sense.
Well, the thing is, the weird thing about memory is, and like, like we could remember something a certain way, but like the way in which we remember things is by like usually repetition. So like the way he's remembering. So every time he tells the story, he's probably obfuscating something.
There's a fancy word.
Yeah, look at that. And
you're a smart fella.
And every time he tells it, the story changes. And so, his memory of it also changes along with the way he's telling it.
Yeah.
So it might have just been. We went to a gas station in Maine there was a guy there that kind of looked like Stephen King, and then we went to a movie.
That's probably the original story.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what I wish I'd known. When I was young and full of glory, you have no control who lives, who dies, who tells your story.
Is that Dr. Seuss?
No. That was Hamilton. That's what that was.
Oh, you and your fucking...
Me and my musicals. I'm a theater person.
Did you hear the Weird Al
oh
Hamilton
my God,
polka?
did I? It's on my favorites list. I listened to it multiple times
Did you purchase it?
I did not.
You have Apple
I have
Music.
Apple Music, so I did not purchase it. But I think it is one of the most brilliant things ever because of what Al has always done well, which is, mash stuff up together. But it tells you most of the story of the musical in 5 minutes, with the wacky Weird Al hijinks thrown in there. I mean, have you listened to it?
I've never seen nor have listened to the soundtrack to Hamilton, so I have no frame of reference.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I mean, it might be wacky and fun.
Yeah.
But without knowing the source material, will it be as much entertaining to you, me, as it would be to you?
Maybe not, but I mean, if you like any of Weird Al's polkas, I think you don't necessarily need to have heard.
But I think they're better.
They're better if you've heard.
They're better if you've heard the original songs, and then you're like, he did that.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, what the fuck is this? Did he make this shit up? No, it's a real song. Oh, okay.
One of the things that I lost my fucking train of thought. One of the things I like about it, fuck.
I was trying to get you back on the track.
Get me back on the midnight train to Georgia. I really dig the track. It's that hearing him do certain parts of the songs, even though I've listened to the Hamilton cast album a million times. I've read the lyrics, all of that. Hearing Al do it made me understand, because he had to interpret it, he had to re-sing the lyrics, right? So hearing him sing some of the lyrics, I was like, oh shit, that's what that really fast part is saying. And I guess people were asking him during his recent tour, because it came out
during the tour?
During the tour, and so I had friends who went to see him in Portsmouth and friends who went to see him in Boston, and I guess in both places people requested the Hamilton polka and he couldn't do it. It was too difficult
because he hadn't rehearsed it or anything.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And also it's got a super fast part in it that I have no idea how he did it in one. I know Al is a pretty good vocalist and he can do all sorts of crazy things, but I don't know if you could do that in one take unless you really did practice it. Like the guy who does it in the show, who would be doing it fucking every night. So I guess once Al practices it, maybe he'd be able to do it. But I don't blame him for not trying at these shows, which I guess were more.
But instead, he's doing the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota.
Did he say that?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of random songs that I don't think he's ever played on because that's this tour is just like. Yeah. He's playing none of his parodies.
Right.
He's not doing any of the crazy shit.
Yeah.
He's just doing he's probably doing Dog Eat Dog off a polka party, which is probably one of my favorite Weird Al songs because it has a very much influenced by the Talking Heads kind of sound to it.
I love his pastiche of Nine Inch Nails, which is called Germs.
He might have done Germs. Actually, no, I think he did do Germs.
He's done Germs, I think, on other. So
he
tours,
he might not do that.
Yeah.
But he would do fucking Mr. Frump and his iron lung.
I would have loved to have seen that because I am coming to I've gone through periods of I loved Weird Al as a kid, as many people did. I went through a period where I was kind of like, I guess I'm supposed to not like Weird Al
because I'm older and too cool to not like, or I'm too cool to.
Yeah,
I kind of went through that as well.
Right,
but I've come back around.
Now.
Now that I've gotten even older.
Yeah, I came back around and started to appreciate him just in the same way that I appreciated him as a kid. But now especially seeing how much Lin-Manuel Miranda reveres Al. And I think Miranda is a musical. I don't want to say genius. I feel like that word gets tossed around too easily. But Lin-Manuel Miranda is a very talented musician. The fact that he really respects Al
I think most...
And I think a lot of people probably do. But the fact... I was not expecting this guy who wrote, like, musicals to talk about how much he loved Al. And that made me go, oh, wow, I got to go back and, like... And so that's made me appreciate Al even more.
It's Weird Al has always kind of been around for things that are like funny. Mm-hmm. Like I remember like when Space Ghost first started.
Yeah.
Like Weird Al was on it. Mm-hmm. Like I've been listening to Comedy Bang Bang for the past like year and a half or so or something like that. And like he apparently was on early episodes of that. Like like he usually has a like he has a good eye or ear or whatever for humor voices and usually will try to be a part of things like that.
Yeah. Well, I think the other thing is that he, or maybe I'm just noticing it now, but he, I think, also has a great ear for music. I mean, you have to be in order to do what he does. And one of my favorite Al things of recent memory, I was looking around, I think I was searching through Apple Music for, I don't know if it was that I got there through Al or I got there through something else, but I came across a concert tribute to the Traveling Wilburys, and it was to, is it Handled with Care or was it the other one?
End of the Line?
Yeah, I think it was Handled with Care. And it was this... thing, maybe from a George Harrison tribute concert or whatever, but Al was up there amongst many, many other people, and he gets to sing one chorus verse of
the Roy Orbison part.
No, so there was somebody else who was playing the Roy Orbison part. I think they were all trading off on like the Harrison, Petty, all the other parts, but there was one guy who was doing the Orbison part. But when it gets to Al, one of the things that I thought was fantastic was he doesn't do how great his voice was, and he has a great voice, but he completely just sort of lost any of the sort of Al-isms, that sort of high-pitched thing that he'll put on some notes and in some places. And he just like flat out sang it as if he were just trying to do his best George Harrison or just his best Al Yankovic. And it was so fucking good. It's only like 10, 15 seconds of the song, but I don't know. I guess I want to appreciate... When I start geeking out about things, I geek out too much about things.
No way.
And so now in the last year or so, I've decided to like geek out about Al Yankovic again. So,
all right. Well, he's a talented performer. Yeah. He always has been. And there's a reason why like he is like synonymous with like parody songs. There are so many parody songs that were not done by him. Yeah. Like around the days of Napster would like they attributed to him.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that they were probably some fucking like Morning Zoo fucking bad like gonna electric shock OJ, which is which is an Opie and Anthony. Yeah, that was like the first. Like Opie had the show in on Long Island, and that Anthony listened to.
Oh, okay.
And Anthony like had that parody song that they played on the show, and then they had him on the show. And,
and that's how.
Which is like that was one of those things like that I always really liked about O&A. Like when they would they would play shit from a way long time ago and just make fun of how bad they were back then.
Yeah.
And like this was really bad. Like the first show like that. Like if you could find like that on YouTube, like the episode where they listened to like Anthony's first appearance on the Opie show, like check that out. That's one of the best.
Yeah, I mean if you can go back to your stuff and laugh at it, I think that's we should do that with this show. We'd have to get 2 sets of headphones, listen to our first episode or something like that. Maybe we have to do that when we come up to episode 200. Maybe that's
what we should do. And hopefully no one hears this part. Is we should just try to get a transcript of that first episode.
Yeah,
just do it again. Only switch
parts. Yes. I have thought about there are services out there that will do it. I have no idea how much they cost.
What to do a transcript of,
transcription
of audio?
Of audio, yeah. I don't know if there's any software out there that will do it. But,
well, if you have like that Dragon software, does that like?
Oh yeah, you could probably put it in there. It would not. I don't know that it could distinguish between the two voices. I think it would just transcribe everything it heard.
Well, I mean, that makes it a whole heck of a lot
That would make it easier, yeah.
We would just be like, okay, that was Chris, that was Steve.
Yeah. So it's an idea there, Steve.
Yeah, well, hopefully people will forget about it until we can actually do it.
Right. I wonder if people have forgotten about the fact that we said we would push off the Infinity War stuff until the end.
Is it the end?
We got just less than 6 minutes.
Okay, so
I don't know.
This is a perfect amount of... Let's do it.
Do we talk about Infinity War?
I mean, it seems like it's a movie that's coming out.
It does seem like it's a movie that's coming out. It's coming out a week earlier than it was originally.
Because they were going to be dumb and release it later in the United States than the rest of the world.
Yes.
I think they normally do that, but this time I think people are like clamoring for it enough that that's not going to play this time.
Yeah, I think the spoilers is the other part of it, is that they really
because it's a lot easier to obtain movies.
Yeah. I mean, you could... So, when Thor Ragnarok came out, I think that was one where it came out overseas first. You could... There was a week there where you could go on and you could basically spoil yourself if you wanted to about what was going to happen in Thor Ragnarok. But is
it dubbed? Is it released dubbed or is it subtitled on the other parts of the world?
Oh, that I don't know. It's probably...
Because if it's subtitled, then that's fine because everything's in English. But if it's dubbed, then it's got to be subtitled in English.
Yeah, I just mean that people from it would get released in the UK. It would get released in English-speaking countries. So those people would then get online and spoil what happened.
They'd be like, "Blimey, here's Thor Ragnarok."
Yeah,
that's my English accent.
Blimey, there's Thor Ragnarok. But in the grand scheme of things, yes, there were things you could spoil about Thor Ragnarok, but not things that were 10 years of storytelling in the making, right? Which is what I sense this movie is kind of a culmination to some extent, even though it's got a sequel that's coming out a year later. It's a culmination of 10 years of them telling stories, and they probably don't want those things leaking in the same way that Star Wars.
Just like you don't want a wound leaking.
No, that's bad when a wound leaks. What color do your wounds leak when they leak, Steve?
What the fuck kind of question is that?
It's just a question. It's just
When I burnt my foot, it was mostly red and a little bit of yellowish goo that I had to clean off every day and get some alcohol and put a new thing on there. There's still a little bit of a scar there where I had Captain Burnfoot. If I hadn't ripped off my sock, I would have been better.
Captain Birdfoot. We're using our made-up names. What color do you think Thanos bleeds if he bleeds?
I don't know.
Purple? I mean, he's a purple guy. He's got purple skin, but
we have sort of off-white skin.
Yeah,
and
we bleed
red. So
okay. And
people with different skin colors than us also
bleed red. So I wonder if it's red. Or I wonder if it's standard alien green. It seems like aliens bleed green, doesn't it? I mean, I think does that mean that all aliens are Irish?
Yes. Oh, pissing and shitting and fighting and fucking.
Have you seen the Infinity War trailer?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So
I brought up the fucking thing that's at the end of the trailer.
Oh, that's right. You did.
How the fuck? I just watched that.
Just watched the
I just
tag.
watched the very last 3 seconds of it, and I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah. I mean,
Petey Parker.
They are definitely excited about having him in this movie. He is front and center on the poster. Really front and center on the poster is fucking Iron Man, Downey. But then if you go down to right where the title is on the poster,
do you think he if you put him in the dryer with your never mind.
You put Spider-Man or just his tights?
No, I'm not talking about Spider-Man. I'm talking about Downey. Do you think if you put him in the wash?
Oh, if you put him in the wash, would your stuff get softer?
Yeah,
that's a tough call. He seems like a gentler man than he was in his
Snuggle? What about the Snuggle Bear, Chris?
Now, if you put Downey and the Snuggle Bear both in...
But Downey was just a baby lying on the side of the package.
No, but I mean Robert Downey. If you put him and the Snuggle Bear both in your dryer, what happens? Do you end up with an Iron Bear?
You probably have a dead Robert Downey Jr. and a very clean bear. Oh, actually, not a very clean bear, because the blood and whatever that's going to ooze out of Downey will be on the bear.
On the bear. Oh, poor bear. That's
poor inanimate object, not poor human that's dead.
Yes. So you watched the trailer. Did you enjoy the trailer?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, I'm excited. Who's directing this one? It's not.
This is the Russo brothers.
It's not. Joss Whedon.
No, it's not.
I keep on wanting to say Will Wheaton because I've been watching Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's fun.
That's
season 1. It's weird. It's jarring to see Riker without a beard.
Mm-hmm. And the that's the ones, I think it's only season 1 where they have don't have the collars, right? Like
no, they do, but like they have the zipper in the front of their uniforms, and Tasha Yar is there.
Yes, until she fucks Data and then dies.
She fucks Data in the second episode.
Oh yeah,
episode 2 is when they're all getting like super drunk and doing stupid shit.
Yeah,
why is
the second episode of any TV series the fucking weirdest? I mean, the one after the pilot, like Battlestar Galactica. I remember when when I watched that one, I almost stopped because the first episode, I watched the miniseries, which was effectively the pilot. It was like 3 hours or however long that is. And then I watched the very first episode, and the very first episode was so... I didn't know, I don't know, it was like they didn't know what to do with themselves, so they've got... I don't know. It was... Somebody can email me and tell me why that first episode is so fucking amazing, but... I don't know. Like lots of times, the second episode, the one that comes after the pilot, you're going to try to play it safe. So, yeah.
Like you want to get the show made,
right?
And that's the show. That's the thing that's going to get it made.
But then you immediately have to get wacky.
I think it's just like all that like pent up
Android funking.
Yeah, let's fuck this robot guy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Did he enjoy it? Do you think Data enjoyed it?
The thing that I don't understand is how the fuck did Krillin and Android 18 have a fucking baby?
Krillin and Android 18.
It's from Dragon Ball. It's not One Piece.
I was like, I don't know who Krillin or Android 18 are.
Like they're fucking like there was this android, and then like they apparently like Cell vomited her out like before he got destroyed.
I don't know, Steve.
And then her and Krillin like hook up and then have a baby. Like, how the fuck did that happen?
I don't know, Steve. I really don't.
And why did Krillin
have hair? How did Vision get the Scarlet Witch pregnant in the comics? That's what I mean. I'm sure there's some explanation out there. I don't know how.
Did they bang?
I think they banged. I think that they banged like Ricky Martin. I think
she banged.
Oh, she banged. Yeah, she bangs. I'm sorry.
I remember when Ricky Martin was becoming a thing in the late 90s or whatever, early aughts.
She's into superstition. Black cats and voodoo dolls.
I was like, this guy, there's no way this guy could be heterosexual. And everybody was like, no, he loves women. He keeps on singing about women. I'm like, no. Doth protest too much.
There's nothing wrong with him being
there's nothing wrong with him, but I was like, and then when he came out, I'm like,
Did you go back to all those people who
no,
didn't believe you?
I'm not going to be like, yeah, but I knew.
Yeah, he's a sexy man.
Sure,
he is. I mean, I think it was a particular time in our country where like they had to portray him as straight. To get that through the whole thing. I think today he could have been out from the beginning.
I don't know.
And been that particular kind of hot, and all the gay men would have fawned over him, and it would have been fine. And he could have been like dancing with dudes.
But I think you can.
It was a really fucking weird time.
Yeah, because
if he'd come out if he'd been becoming popular even just a couple of years later, he
might have been able to.
I think he could have just been himself from the get-go.
Yeah.
But when he arrived, it was like, oh, we got to pretend that you're something.
Maybe because like I don't know, like the level of acceptance or like because like back before we knew people that were gay, outwardly gay.
Yeah.
We would be more
intolerant.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then once we had friends that we didn't like abandon those friends.
Yeah.
We were like, oh, okay, this is a thing. that maybe I don't want to hurt their feelings anymore.
Right. It starts as I don't want to hurt their feelings because they're my friend, and then eventually it becomes like an actual like, it's not just I don't want to hurt their feelings. It's like there's nothing wrong with them. Why did I ever think there was anything? It's a very gradual, and I'm very thankful.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
I'm very thankful for friends who came out early, and then I'm very thankful that I went to college that I went to, because I really was a closed-minded sort of whatever product of my time, and you know, I'm thankful for Ricky Martin.
I'm thankful Ricky Martin and all of our friends that came out so we could not be homophobes.
Yes, I thank you very much. You can find the show notes for this episode at clarkwoods.com/hot/190. And if you have anything to say about how we've gotten Ricky Martin's history wrong, or how Steve's movie universe is better than mine, you can...
better than like the non-existent movie universe that you...
I had one. I just didn't go fully into it. Yeah. I mean, I think my movie universe would be all about... which of these various space science fiction franchises happened first? Like, did Battlestar happen first, or was Star Wars, because it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, was it even further back?
And when did the Carpenters come into all of it?
If you have any theories on that, you can send us an email to hot@clarkwoods.com, or you can tweet us. I'm at ECC1977.
And I'm at Tuesday is Loser. That's Tuesday, IS Loser, all one word.
Yes, you are.
And if you are if you're a friend of mine on Twitter, now that Nintendo has updated their operating system for the Switch, you can be my friend on the Switch as well.
Oh, I did not know this.
So yeah,
very, very interesting.
We could be friends in so many places.
Oh, what's your fake name on
the same as everything, Chris?
Oh, Tuesday's Loser.
Yeah.
Oh, we're using our fake names. In which case, I'm Captain Dingleberry.
Of course you are.